This video will show you how to create a cube which will be used by one or many reports. Usually BXBreports opens in the report's perspective, with a list of reports available for the logged user. Then this window must be closed. To create a new cube or change an existent one, you need to switch to the database perspective. Therefore you have to click on the arrow in the combo box at the top left corner. There will be displayed the list of perspectives available for the logged user. For the Personal and Viewer Edition licenses, only the report's perspective is available. It means that only users with the Professional Edition license can follow this tutorial. Let's choose the database perspective. Here, the data sources available for the user are listed. To create a new data source, you need to click on New Data Source, and the Properties folder will be enabled. Then you have to give a name to the data source. For example, text files. At the type we recommend to select ODBC, which is available for the majority of data sources, from a simple text file to the most robust relational database management system. For this tutorial, we selected a previously created data source. Let's use this one, text files. The ODBC data sources listed here have been set up at the Windows server, where BXBreports service is running, as a system data source name. Here you can see the users list, where you also can give access to the data source to other users. Then we can save and test the connection. Connection established. On a configured data source, we can build as many cubes as we want. So, all of them will be connected to the same data source. To create a cube, you have to click on the arrow at the left of the data source, and afterwards, on New Cube. The Properties folder is opened. Here you need to enter the name of the cube, sales data. Through the users list, we can allow other users to see this cube too. Here we can also indicate which user will have the permission to load the cube occasionally. In the SQL script folder, here a program to extract the data can be written in SQL script according to the syntax of the data source. SQL means structured query language. With a click on the refresh icon of the Tables panel, all the tables or files of the data source are listed. Detailing a table. By clicking on the arrow at the left of the table's name, the correspondent columns are displayed too. In our example, the data are in a text file. Let's then paste a SQL script previously coded for this tutorial. Observe the syntax. Here you see a column with quotes. That's because there is a space in name of the column. If you want, you can also change the column names in the SQL script, giving them more intuitive names. All the space-separated column names must be quoted. This line extracts the year from the date column. The function year extracts the year as a numeric column, and the CSTR function converts it in a text field. To give a name to the new column, the command must be complemented with is. With this command, the month will be extracted into a 2-digit field. This line points to a text file. Through the ODBC concept, the file is considered a table. If we had other tables with data related to this one, we could join their data. In the metadata folder, the columns appear according to what the SQL script has specified. BXBreports automatically sets the numeric columns as measures and all the other as dimensions. But is possible to modify it if necessary. Measures are all the columns which can have an average or a sum and can be inserted in a formula. In our example, order number represents a dimension, even being a numeric column. In Properties, we can modify the metadata. For example, the column labels, which will be exhibited to the user while configuring a report. It can be used to let the comprehension of the column more friendly or intuitive. Filling in the description is optional. It will not be used anywhere else. In the Content If Null field, you may inform what the report has to show if the column is empty. The Format property can be used only for dates and numeric columns. For each measure, you can also define the Summarize mode in the grouping breaks. You may set it up, the sum total, to get the average of the group, or to not summarize. You can also create calculated columns through formulas. Therefore, click on the Calculated Columns icon. In the Calculated Columns window, you will see the column previously calculated and automatically linked to this cube. Click on the New Ins icon, and the Calculated Column Maintenance window will be opened. In the Name field, you may supply the name of the column. Profit, for example. In the main box, at the right of Result, you can write a formula using the columns listed in the panel at the right. In our example, you may select the column Sales Value, then click on the Use Column button, add a hyphen, which means minus, to the formula, then select the Cost Value column at the right panel, and click again on the Use Column button. Your formula should be ready. Now, click on the Test Syntax button, and getting the correct syntax message, and you can advance. In the new window opened, you can change the name of the column and complement the properties similarly to the cube columns. The only item which has an additional property is the default summarization, where formula option is recommended each time you have a multiplication or division in your formula. It means that in each group summarization level, the formula has to be applied in order to recalculate the total. To validate it, you must click on the Apply button. Now, to have an idea of your job's result, click on the Test SQL Script button. Here, you can see the first 100 records of the cube in order to have an overview and realize if any other change has to be set up. If the configuration is ready, you can now load the data on the cube by clicking on the Cube Load button. In the new opened window, click on the Start button, and when this task is finished, click on OK to close this window. Note that here, we prepared manually a cube with data for further demonstration of the report's configuration in another video. However, the cube load process, it means the updating process of its data, is a task which is usually set up by the system administrator through the administration perspective of BXBreports, where there is a service available to do this job in a scheduled frequency. Thanks for your attention. If you want to know more about BXBreports, you can visit the product hot site, www.bxbreports.com, where you will also find other videos showing you how to set up and handle the reports.